Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider dropping likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So today on this video, as I've been updating you on a regular basis, going to give you an update on the current transfer rumours that are currently going on in the media, because obviously we know that investment is needed into Manchester United this summer, and reportedly we're going to get around £200 million spent this summer. Of course, we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in and all that, and obviously we're still not certain who will get the Manchester United job, to quite honest with you. So we're still uncertain of a manager at the moment, but it's still looking likely that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. Of course, based on his fantastic progression he has done so far, since he's come to Manchester United as well. And obviously Solskjaer himself will obviously probably have his say on our transfer plans in the summer. He's obviously been discussing with the Manchester United board of what players should stay and what players should leave in the summer as well. And I think Solskjaer has identified that he wants 4 summer signings this summer, so he wants Manchester United to get 4 summer signings reportedly as well. But I think he's focusing on more attacking additions to the squad. He's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to quite honest, because recent reports were suggesting out that actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was actually not interested in buying any defenders, because he wants to give our current defenders a chance to impress and prove themselves and all that as well. And I still think he'll get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. We'll only have to pay a compensation package of around £7-8 million to Mould, because at the moment we've obviously paid £1.8 million to Mould, of course, to get him on a temporary basis, of course, as well. But he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree, as we all know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his managerial pedigree isn't good, like in terms of winning any major honours and all that as well. But I think that is to come, if Manchester United can get some new additions into the club in the summer. And I think he's planning, that he does want a long tenure at Manchester United. Of course, he'll probably want he'll want to stay as Manchester United manager maybe 5 or 10 years or something like that. If he does get the job on a full-time basis, because he hasn't really had any long tenures as manager so far. He had 2 separate spells with Mould as manager. He managed the Manchester United reserve team a couple of years as well, and he had a really short tenure with Cardiff. But he did have a long tenure as a player. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know, because he served 11 years under Alex Ferguson. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But he has brought the fear factor back to Manchester United, of course, as well. Obviously, I think he's getting a rough idea, of what players he wants to sell in the summer as well. But I've already identified, the key areas, where Manchester United, of course, do need to strengthen up and all that as well. So we want to be a competitive elite level football club again, but we need signings to do this in the summer, if we do want to be up there, challenging for titles and all that as well. Challenging for the league next season and all that as well. And obviously, we're still in that race for the top 4, which is very good indeed. And obviously, there's a few teams going for that top 4. So we want Champions League football anywhere for next season, so we can have a more competitive summer transfer window, of course, as well. So obviously, it's either, we get the top 4 and get into Champions League for next season, or of course, succeed in the Champions League and automatically get in Champions League football for next season as well. But as I've been keeping you up to date, regularly, on the transfer rumours, that have been going on, as we all know as well. And we know one of his main priority targets for the summer is Jadon Sancho, as I have been discussing with you about on a regular basis, because reports have been saying, that he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams, as Jadon Sancho. And of course, Jadon Sancho, as we all know, he's been really good at Borussia Dortmund, of course. Only broke into the England first team last year as well. Reportedly, he's attracting interest, from quite a few teams across Europe. The names I've seen, Man United have been interested. PSG have also been interested in Jadon Sancho as well. And is Jadon Sancho the solution to Manchester United's problems? I'd say he is, because he's only 18 years of age. He has got a lot of years ahead of him. But I think Manchester United, from their perspective, are confident, that we can get, that we can come to an agreement, to get complete a transfer for Jadon Sancho this summer. As we all know, I think City do, as I told you a while back, do have a buyback option on the player, because City, did insert a buyback clause in his current contract, as we all know as well. And it did say if we were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, City would receive, they'd benefit from it. They said they'd receive around 15% of the transfer fee or something like that as well. But reports do say Man United have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, and obviously that's Solskjaer's priority, to get a winger into Manchester United, of course, as well. And he's only very young. He has still got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. I think Manchester United are preparing I think Manchester United are pairing to pay up to the £100 million for Jadon Sancho, and I do think, Manchester United, can afford this, considering, we have got the financial power to meet that valuation. Obviously, as well, we didn't invest in the January transfer window as well, so I think we can afford, his valuation, Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund, still may want to keep him because Borussia Dortmund do know how much of an essential player he is to them as well. But obviously, it would make him the most expensive English footballer ever, and they only paid £8 million for him from Manchester City a couple of years ago as well. So financially, Borussia Dortmund, would benefit from this. But obviously, he's had experience of playing in English football, because he did serve a couple of years with Manchester City and all that. They did Jadon Sancho as well. He never got into the first team with City, and this is the main reason he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund. And he actually began his youth career with Watford as well. The Jadon Sancho. But as I said, Borussia Dortmund, have been known for doing business with the players. They did it with obviously, Bamyan 58, 59 million. The Solous and Dembele for 105, 106 million pounds as well. And if Jadon Sancho was to come to Manchester United in the summer, it'd be a great signing. I think he'd complement our team very, very well, and I think he'd fit in, under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer system, and I think he'd complement our attacking line, very, very well indeed, because it's obvious, that we need a winger. We do need that right-hand side addressing, of course. We're okay on the left, I think, because obviously that's where the majority of our attack is coming from, that left-hand side, of course, as well. But I think we've identified him as our number one target, for the summer, Jadon Sancho as well. And there's been a narrative going on about it for the last 3 or 4 weeks, that Manchester United have been interested in him as well. But it will take a bid in the excess of at least 80 or £100 million to convince Borussia Dortmund, to sanction him off as well. So Manchester United is still confident, that we can come to an agreement to get Jadon Sancho this summer. And that's obviously the targets, that Manchester United, should be getting, because obviously we have got quite a few experienced players, and it does seem to be a lot of the experienced players, that are causing us problems at the moment. So it would be ideal, for us to get some young players, that could grow, develop and mould in this team. And obviously, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, because it's looking likely, as I did say, he'll get the job on a full-time basis, of course, as well. So there's still a lot of talks, going on about Jadon Sancho as well. As I want to give you an update on that as well. Other transfer targets, I've been keeping you up to date on as well. Obviously, we know Manchester United, of course, have been interested in Joe Felix as well. That Benfica youngster, that 19-year-old, of course, he's only very, very young. As I said, Joe Felix. Man United have had talks, with Benfica over potential move, for Joe Felix reportedly as well. He's only 19 years of age. He's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. He only broke into the Benfica first team last year, but since he's reportedly, broke in the first team, reportedly, his performances have been very, very impressive of Joe Felix. And he's expressed interest, from quite a few teams. Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on Joe Felix as well. And Man United scouts have been watching him regularly because his performances have been impressive. He's mainly a winger, as where he does play at Benfica, but he can play in other positions as well. So he is versatile as his player. I think it's also said that Chelsea have also, been interested in Joe. Sorry guys about that, I do apologise, internet gone off again, as it does sometimes go down. So what I was saying as well, as you about transfer reports coming out yesterday and today in relation to Antoine Griezmann, of course. So reportedly, according to the Spanish newspaper reports are stemming from Spain, that reportedly Manchester United are reportedly the favourites to sign Antoine Griezmann this summer, because I think he has demanded, Antoine Griezmann, that he does want to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, because he has been there a number of years now. He has grown, developed and flourished, fantastically well. Obviously, Antoine Griezmann has spent the entirety of his playing career in Spain and all that as well. And obviously, he's a player of his calibre and a player of of his quality, and he does play to the highest level. Does Antoine Griezmann. Obviously, he wants to be up there challenging for trophies, and he wants to be winning too, and all that. And does Griezmann? He hasn't really done that at Atletico Madrid. To be quite honest with you, he is a good, proven, prolific goal scorer. He's won the Europa League with Atletico Madrid. I think he's won the Super Cup and that with Atletico Madrid as well. And I think this is his 5th season now with Atletico Madrid. Is Antoine Griezmann, of course, as well. So reports do say that Manchester United are reportedly the favoured, to sign him this summer. Obviously, he turned down the opportunity, to join Barcelona last summer, of course, as well. So what he decided to do was to turn Barcelona down, remain loyal to Atletico Madrid, and he ended up signing a new contract with Atletico Madrid. And he signed a new 5-year deal last summer, which takes him now under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2023. But I don't think Barcelona are no longer interested in him. I think it said Man U were the favourites to sign him. It's also said Bayern Munich have been interested in him. It's also said PSG have also been interested in Antoine Griezmann as well. And it's increasingly now likely he will leave this summer, Griezmann, because obviously now he's obviously, you know, got a release clause of a staggering £171 million. But as some media outlets do mention, that reportedly his release clause will drop and his release clause will reduce by £70 million. So this does mean probably that his release clause will be £100 million this summer as well. Antoine Griezmann's, of course, as well. But as I did say, it's reportedly said that Manchester United, you know, are the favourites to sign him, and what a great addition he would be for Manchester United. You know, he'd bring that attacking flair more, and he'd look very, very good in our team. You know, imagine Griezmann alongside the likes of Rashford and, you know, Martial and Pogba and all that as well. Obviously, he's got a good friendship, you know, with Paul Pogba as Antoine Griezmann, because obviously, you know, they both play for France. You know, same with Martial, he's French as well. And obviously, a couple of years back, was it, you know, Manchester United, as I did say, you know, were on the brink of getting Griezmann, but due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban at that moment in time, you know, we failed to get Griezmann in the process as well. So he's mainly a forward, and at that time we were linked to Griezmann. Obviously, Manchester United, you know, we were planning, you know, to actually, you know, put him in that number 7 role, because at the time, obviously, you know, Manchester United, you know, had a number 7 vacant as well. I think, you know, he was obviously destined to come to Manchester United a couple of years ago, because I think he actually did want to come to Manchester United, you know, did Griezmann, but due to the transfer ban, Atletico Madrid didn't want to let him go, because obviously, you know, they couldn't find an adequate replacement for him at that moment in time as well. But yeah, reports are saying that Man United are reportedly, you know, the favourites to sign Griezmann this summer reportedly as well. But it'd be a great addition, you know, to come. He'd bring goals in. It's got at least probably 20-25 goals a season, you know, definitely would Antoine Griezmann as well. So there's been a lot of talks going on about that, you know, it mentioned it yesterday, and there's been talks about going on today in the media as well, you know, coming from the Spanish press. We also too do know, guys, that reports have been coming out about Rafael Varane, as we all know as well. We do know that reports have been coming out about Rafael Varane as well. There has been reports coming out saying that even though, you know, Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed Real Madrid manager, as we all know as well, he's been reappointed Real Madrid manager, Zinedine Zidane. Obviously now this is his second spell in charge of Real Madrid, and obviously Zinedine Zidane's obviously planning for the investment in that Real Madrid team this summer, and reportedly Florentino Perez is going to give him around a £300 million spending spree this summer. And I do think, you know, players will leave Real Madrid, but he's obviously identified, you know, quite a few targets as Zinedine Zidane, as we all know as well. So reports coming out about Rafael Varane, of course. Reports saying that he may consider leaving Real Madrid this summer, Rafael Varane. And so far, he's got a really, really good pedigree, as we all know in his playing career, of course. And he's only 25 years of age. And, you know, he's got a lot of years ahead of him, Rafael Varane. And he's a type of player I'd love him to come to Manchester United, you know, Rafael Varane. And as I did say, that's the type of player, you know, we should be looking at. Only 25, still in his prime, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, of course, as Rafael Varane. We know he probably cost us, you know, quite a bit of money, you know, Rafael Varane, but as I do keep saying, you know, Manchester United have got that financial power, you know, to meet his valuation, of course, as well. And Rafael Varane is an absolutely great player, indeed. Obviously, he's been at Real Madrid a number of years now. He has been at Real Madrid since 2011, so I think this is now his 8th season with Real Madrid. He's only 25 years of age, and at Real Madrid, I think he has won 15 major honours as a Real Madrid player, as Rafael Varane. So that is absolutely, you know, impressive, indeed. He has made over 200 appearances for Real Madrid in all competitions as well, and obviously spent the most of his career, you know, with Real Madrid in Spain. Obviously, he began his career with Lens, actually, you know, did Rafael Varane, as we all know, but he only spent 1 season in the senior team as well, you know, did Rafael Varane, but only 25 years of age, and I think he'd complement our defensive line fantastically well if he was to come in. We do need a centre-back, we need an experienced centre-back, you know, we need a world-class centre-back as well, because we haven't had one, you know. The last time I think we had a world-class centre-back, you know, is when we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, because, you know, they were a great partnership, you know, back in the day as well. But in relation to Varane, you know, he's got great physical attributes. As I said, you know, there's areas of his game that he adapts fantastically well, and I think him and Lindelof, you know, would look very, very good in our backline. You know, he's very composed, he's very aggressive in his play. You know, he also reads the game very, very well, and he would be fantastic. You know, Rafael Varane, he would be a fantastic signing. You know, if Manchester United, you know, could get Rafael Varane in the summer as well. But you know, he isn't being a priority. But Manchester United, you know, have actually, you know, been linked with Varane in the past as well. And obviously, you know, he's also not only done good for Madrid, also did very, very well in the World Cup as well, you know, for France as well as Rafael Varane. So I do really, really highly rate him. And as I did say, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. And it would be good for him it would be good for him, to come and experience the Premier League, Rafael Varane as well. And I do know, there's been other defenders, that Manchester United have been interested in. And we do know there's been talks going on about Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. And to me, I know he's well Premier League proven, he's Toby Alderweireld, so that's good in that aspect. But in my opinion, he's aging up now. He's just recently turned 30 years of age, as Toby Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. Reports were coming out a couple of days ago saying that reportedly Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld this summer based on his refusal to renew his contract with Tottenham as well. And obviously we do know that he's going to be available for a reasonable fee this summer, is Toby Alderweireld of course as well. He is going to be available for a reasonable fee because obviously Tottenham last year activated a 12-month extension, included a release clause of £26 million. So Alderweireld is going to be available for £26 million this summer. And obviously, Manchester United were linked with Toby Alderweireld last summer, but obviously, we couldn't come to an agreement again. But for me, I've got reservations about him now. He can be a world-class central defender, but I've got reservations about him now. Of course, he's just turned 30 as well, so he is aging up. So he's nowhere near he's not at that high level anymore as he was, Toby Alderweireld. And I just think he's lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Alderweireld as well. But reports going out saying that Manchester United are expected to sign him in the summer for around £26 million because he's refusing, to sign a new contract with Tottenham. I think he's unsure about his Tottenham future. He's been at Tottenham quite a few years now. He's been in the Premier League quite a few years as well as Alderweireld. So I have heard about his name being mentioned as well. And we do know that also, reports have been coming out about Costas Manolas as well, as I've been giving you an update on. Again, he's in the past, he's been a Manchester United target. He hasn't been a priority for Manchester United as Costas Manolas, as we all know, as well as Costas Manolas. But reports are coming out saying that Arsenal have also showed an interest in Costas Manolas as well. And reports do suggest that, according to the Italian press report, it did say Manchester United or Arsenal could reportedly land Costas Manolas this summer for a cut price fee if Roma don't qualify for the Champions League next season as well. So reportedly, the Italian press report, Costas Manolas, will leave Roma this summer if they fail to get in the top four in Italy and obviously, fail to get in the Champions League next season. Costas Manolas will leave. And I don't really know much about this Costas Manolas, to be quite honest. I know he's a centre-back. I know he's 27 years of age. I know he's a Greek as well, and he's about 6'2", so he's tall as well. But he's not a world-class centre-back, what I heard. He's nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of the Koulibalis or the Diego Gordons or the Rafael Varanes and all that. He's nowhere near in their calibre. But what I heard, Manchester United have reportedly, showed an interest in. Reports have said that reportedly, we could land him in a cut price transfer. His release clause, I think, is around £31 million, is his players. Of course, I think from Roma's perspective, they want to remove his release clause so they can invest a bit more money on the player as well. And he's been at Roma a number of years now. I think this is his 5th season now. He's at Roma. Obviously, spent, before he was obviously at Olympiacos, where he spent a couple of seasons. Obviously, he was at Athens before as well. So there's also been talks about him, going on in the media as well. There's also been talks about him, going on in the media as well. But as I did say, I do expect, players, to leave Manchester United this summer. Of course, Valencia is going to go in this summer. Obviously, Man United opted in to give him that Manchester United, this summer, to be quite honest. That Manchester United, of course, he's won everything here domestically as well as Antonio Valencia. But I do. He's on his of Manchester United, of course, and he's obviously out with a calf injury now. He's Antonio Valencia, so I think he's likely leaving this summer. I think Darmian's on his way out of Manchester United as well. I think he's going to leave Manchester United this summer as well as Matteo Darmian, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player, of course, as well. So players will leave. Sanchez will leave Manchester United this summer as well, without a shadow of a doubt. I think Alexis Sanchez is going to leave. Enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United as Alexis Sanchez. To be quite honest with you, he's been here just over the year. Of course, as well, enjoyed a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player. And, every time he has been given the opportunity, he's looked so restricted. It's just been looking, he hasn't been getting that freedom and all that as well. And when he was an Arsenal player, he didn't sustain many injuries. And now he's at Manchester United. Just over the year, he has sustained 3 injuries, because previously, before he just suffered this knee injury, he had 2 hamstring injuries, I think, as well. The Alexis Sanchez. And I think Solskjaer's lost trustworthy in Sanchez. And I think he's lost faith in Alexis Sanchez, to be quite honest with you as well. We know it's going to be hard to find a buyer for offer him in the summer, considering, that his substantial wages is currently on, which is obviously, over £500,000 a week as well. And unless Sanchez, is willing to take a wage cut or something like that, so Manchester United can sanction him off in the summer, or, Manchester United, may consider, sanctioning him off on loan as well. But yeah, I don't rate Sanchez, and I think he's been a flop for Manchester United, and, and he's 30 years of age now anyway, of course, he has lost that yard of pace as well. So he's a player that's going to leave Manchester United in the summer as well, Alexis Sanchez, without a shadow of a doubt. I think, again, being a very, very good player for Manchester United, especially since Solskjaer's coming, I think, form has been rejuvenated fantastically well, if I'm going to be honest with you. Actually, Lukaku's ahead of Romelu Lukaku, because Rashford, performs well, when he's playing, centrally, quite honest with you. But in relation to Lukaku, I've been impressed. I have been impressed, with his performances most recently, Lukaku, and I think, he's much... Sorry, guys, about that went off. So he's still got a very, very good pedigree in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku. United could still sell him in the summer, if Man United outside sell him in the summer is indicated that he does want to make the move to Juventus around the international. And yes, I don't mind not getting that support, of course, as well. But yeah, players will definitely leave Manchester United in the summer. And of course, we still know that there's some contract renewals to sort out as well. Obviously, there's been reports coming out about Marcus Rashford that reportedly Manchester United are in talks of getting Marcus Rashford a new 5-year deal worth around £180,000 a week, reportedly as well. And hopefully, he can commit to this new 5-year deal, Marcus Rashford. Manchester United have talks, of course. He did say if talks do continue to drag on, reportedly Manchester United will trigger a 12-month extension, reportedly as well in his current contract, but he's still under contract here until 2020. Don't forget, is Marcus Rashford. But overall, he does deserve a new contract, based on his fantastic performances. Does Marcus Rashford as well, because he has been a very, very good, consistent player for Manchester United. He's been a United player since the age of 7. He's been in the senior squad with Manchester United, since 2016 as well, and especially since Solskjaer's coming. He's regained his form. His form's been so much better. He looks more effective, when he's in that central position, because he likes to get them runs in behind. He's like lightning, when he's playing to his potential best. He can play him out wide, and a couple of times he's played out wide, but I don't think you see the best of Rashford, when he's playing out wide. I think he looks more effective, when he's playing. Sorry, guys, about that. He does deserve a new contract from that ankle injury. I don't think he's been playing. In the process, Man United as well. Part of the talks going on that divide as well. Paid a 12-month extension last year, so he's still under contract here until 2020. But reports do say that Real Madrid are set, to be quite honest with you. But now the rumours are currently back again that Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea. Of course, it has reports did say that David De Gea is demanding that he wants to be the highest paid player alongside Sanchez at the club, and he was demanding that he wanted wages of around £400,000 a week or something like that as well. Reports were saying before that Man United, were refusing, to pay up to this amount, but I think Man United are in talks over a new £350,000 a week deal for De Gea, and De Gea's grown, developed and flourished fantastically well. He's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world, of course. He's been here since the Ferguson era. He has been here since 2011, of course, as David De Gea. This is what his 7th, 8th season now at Manchester United. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions as well as David De Gea, of course, as well. And he's made 100 Premier League clean sheets. And of course, he's won everything here domestically in English football as De Gea as well. So hopefully, he does remain to Manchester United and he stays at Manchester United. But if he was to leave and go to Madrid in the summer, without a shadow of a doubt, he deserves looking at the possibility of Michel Pochettino, Ed Woodward too, may. As I did say, guys, £4 million, since obviously, Pochettino, got recommended him in and all that. And his record with Tottenham is very, very good in terms of, the games he's won as manager, because he's won over 100 odd games for Tottenham as well. But Pochettino, he is Premier League proven and all that, he's, Mauricio Pochettino, because obviously, his record was very, very good when he was at Southampton, of course, as well, and he only signed a new 5-year deal with Tottenham last summer as well. And Man United have been tracking him, for a long, long time, as we all currently know now, but I still think, Pochettino still remains a favourite, because he's still mentioned, the reports going on about, was it yesterday or the day before, that Man United is still looking at the possibility of Mauricio Pochettino, and, he cost us quite a bit, in compensation, we'd have to pay around £30 35, 40 million pounds, you know, to recommend him in anywhere. And, you know, Solskjaer's a much cheaper alternative. Plus, Solskjaer knows the club inside out, as I said. And, you know, Pochettino doesn't know all about Manchester United. He'd only cost us, as I said, 7, 8 million pounds, you know, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, to give him the job full time. And I'm still confident he will get the job full time, even though, we've suffered back-to-back defeats and all that as well. But I think he's done more than enough, you know, to get the job at Manchester United, of course, as well. So anyway, guys, that's mainly everything to update you today. What do you think to the Jadon Sancho rumours? Man United is still convinced, you know, Man United is still confident, you know, that we can convince, you know, Borussia Dortmund, you know, to sanction Jadon Sancho off in the summer, and that he can come to Manchester United, of course, as well, you know, which would be very, very good indeed. And it would be a major signing with Jadon Sancho. You know, we'd probably get the best out of him as well. You know, he's got a lot of years ahead of him as Sancho, and he's proven himself fantastically well in Germany, you know, with Borussia Dortmund as Sancho as well. So hopefully we can get back to winning ways against Watford after the international break, of course, as well. My opinions won't change on Solskjaer. You know, if we do go winless in his next 3 games after the international break, or 2 or 3 games or whatever, you know, then, you know, we'll be having a different conversation. Then, you know, my opinions may change on the whole situation, of course, as well. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you guys all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.